think we got it. Oh, God bless Mercury. All right. Let me get my phone out here. Oh. Oh, come on. All right. I think we got it. Okie dokie. Welcome. Good evening. I'm Reverend William. Thanks to everyone for taking part in the quiet energy work portion of our service. Your cooperation in creating the sacred space is greatly appreciated. Let us say together 3 ohms. Oh, thank you, Joyce. Glad to know that we're broadcasting. Okay. Opening prayer. Divine oneness of being, ascended masters and teachers, our own personal guides and guides that overlight circle of light. Thank you for coming in closely at this time. Thank you for working with us and through us as we gather here, whether in person or virtually, to align our consciousness with yours, so mote it be. Please open to the first page of your book, and we will say together the universal greeting. If this is new to you, please watch the service workers to follow along with the interactive hand movements. I offer you peace. I offer you friendship. I offer you love. I hear your needs. I see your beauty. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from a higher source. I salute that source in you. Let us work together. Turn to the next page. We will say together the 9 principles of spiritualism. We believe in infinite intelligence. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite intelligence. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitutes true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the soul called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the golden rule: whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual, and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter. We affirm that the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in all sacred texts are divine attributes proven through mediumship. We welcome your donations to help us maintain our presence in the community. You may donate via our website, circleoflightstl.org, or through our Facebook page. For those who use Amazon, please consider using smile.amazon.com and choose Circle of Light Independent Spiritualist Church in St. Louis as your nonprofit. Amazon will give us a small donation at no cost to you. We also collect donations for the Southwest Indian Foundation, which provides stoves and food baskets to Native Americans during the holiday season. Each year we allocate funds to help them, and if you want to make a donation specifically for that, just tell us when you donate. Thank you for your donations. All funds received help us in our mission to seek, develop, and teach the knowledge of the relationship between humanity and spirit. The crystal globe displayed here is filled with prayer and energy for healing Mother Earth and all her children. Everyone is welcome to contribute prayers for world peace and world healing. We invite you to add your energy to this sacred sharing. We will now say together the prayer for spiritual healing found on the next page, after which there will be a short silence for you to softly say the names of anyone that you would like to receive extra healing this week. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty. I will do my part. I ask the great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. Current announcements. You will see on our Facebook page that I put up the event for Gifts of Spirit on October 22nd. There are two, so you click the link, takes you to our website. You have an option for one of two tickets, in person or remote. The basic difference between the two is that if you are remote, if you're not here in person, you're not going to be able to participate in the raffle or raffles, depends on what we have contributed here. And that usually consists of things like I'll donate a reading or two, or maybe Circle of Light will donate admission to a class. Karen usually do a similar kind of thing, a gift certificate for like a Reiki session or something. So those are the kind of things that will be available in the raffle for door prizes. And if it matters, there's a small difference is if you're here in person, when we do like the stone messages, you actually get the stone. When we do tarot card messages, you'll get the card in person. That's really the major announcement for right now. Let's see, 2 weeks from now, which would be what, like the 16th, will be another fireside chat. That's when you are welcome to ask questions about anything related to spiritualism, metaphysics, etc. And we'll be answering those questions and discussing that. Okay, here we go. Once again, we thank you for your donations. A prayer over the offering. Universal oneness that man calls God in all of your forms. Thank you for filling these donations with your divine light so they may do the maximum amount of good for the most amount of people possible. So mote it be. That brings us to the message portion of the service. Please actively listen to each message. As these come from universal source via our guides, they may be tailored for the individual, but they deliver wisdom to the whole. Please address questions about messages to the message bearer after the service. To welcome each of our spirit workers, we sing together to raise the vibrations in our circle. We view the word God as a universal term for deity rather than signifying any one particular path. Our message bearer tonight will be moi, s'il vous plaît. And instead of a song, we're going to let's do 7 ohms. Okay, I've been inspired to change that right in mid-course. Follow along. I'm going to do this mantra that is for spirit communication. Radha Swami Deva Devi, Radha Swami Satnam. 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 I'm Reverend William. I'm working tonight with Sarah, Mikael, Thundercloud, Ellen, Merdin, and Arcturus. Tammy C. Okay, so they're starting this here with a bowl of alphabet soup, and you're taking the letters in the soup and arrange them into words, and it's kind of difficult because they keep floating around and whatnot. And anyway, what this is really about as it goes on is you're noticing that every combination of letters has already been done over and over and over throughout time, over many thousands of years, different languages, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so you have this idea that, like, why would I bother trying to do something like this if it's already been done? And Spirit says, I mean, have you ever listened to music? Have you ever been to a library or a bookstore? Yes, these things get done over and over and over. And whether it's like a book per se, or a poem, or a song, however it is that whatever your medium is for these letters and words, your interpretation or arrangement will be unique. And people, again, you look at, like, going to a bookstore and look at all the books on one subject. They're very similar, but they're not exactly the same. Okay, Joyce. So what does that have to do with your will? So show me this horse, and they're reminding me of this little thing I learned recently. Well, I guess it's still a theory. I don't know if it's a fact, but this idea proposed: how did dinosaurs grow so huge? And our fossils that we study show us that a brontosaurus that was many thousands of pounds had nostrils the size of a horse today, a common horse. Well, how was that dinosaur able to intake enough oxygen to live with those relatively, small nostrils and whatnot? And basically they said the concentration of oxygen back then was probably about 20% higher. Or they gave numbers, but basically the environment was different. So when it comes to, well, let me connect the dots here, Joyce. Horse to me equals willpower, almost always. You might see it as something a little bit different. But when it comes to motivation, engaging your will, sheer willpower, just pushing through it can work for a while, but it's exhausting. You'll run out of air. Put yourself in an environment that motivates you, that supplies you, instead of just being forceful or stubborn about it. Connie. Okay, the similarity between the two is oxygen. They show me this pond that is overgrown with algae and green stuff, and they're saying it's out of balance. The solution, I see a play on words, solution, is the fish and other animals, whether it's turtles and other animals, all the way down to the microscopic animals in there. Well, yeah, I mean, there is a balance, like solution or formula. We want the two sides of the formula to be equal. That creates balance. I've balanced the equation by solving for x or whatever. Okay, the missing. So what is Connie's x? Connie's x. What is the solution for Connie? It is, first of all, awareness. And the pond, of course, you're going to think of water as your emotional health, but also that still pond is kind of not just your emotions, but your overall peace of mind, peace of heart. And that requires attentiveness. It's important you monitor your pond and when it's time to add some fish to help eat the algae, or invite friends over to go fishing because it's too many fish, or whatever is there. Regular maintenance makes it a lot easier. It's not such a big project to bring it back into balance. Interesting symbolism for a pretty simple message. It's interesting. Allison. Okay. I had this very close-up view of this wood panel of a fence, and the paint was peeling off, and it's just about to start rotting. It's getting dry, has not been well maintained. And this, Allison, is about, the fence to me represents boundaries, healthy boundaries. You've probably heard that phrase, something like strong fences make good neighbors or something like that. Basically, there's kind of an overlapping theme here of maintenance. Keep that fence maintained. Don't take it for granted. You must maintain your healthy boundaries for happiness, to make a long story short. How do I do that? I continually attend to them. Again, that word of attentiveness. So the first step is awareness, being aware that it's there and it needs to be painted every year, for instance, to last a long time. So how would that be in real life? In real life, it would mean like, you establish a boundary with someone and then you get comfortable and they get comfortable, and then it's just their nature to cross that line. Well, if you're not attentive and you don't mind that right away, then it'll be a lot more work to establish and say, hey, no further. Libby. Your initials? Yeah, they give me the initials LL, which takes me to Lois Lane, Superman's girlfriend and wife, depends on where you are in the story. Anyway, when the story starts out I think he was first published in the 1920s or something, long time ago, Superman first was published. And anyway, had to be 1930s. So point is that she was a naive, painted, drawn as that naive, very much had a crush on Superman. Wasn't so naive she didn't realize that Clark Kent was Superman. Come on. And that character changed with the times. And Spirit is encouraging you to do that for yourself. Nobody is going to draw you or write you the way you should be. It is totally your choice, moment to moment. So what that entails on your part is accepting the truth of what's right in front of you. Hello, you didn't know Clark Kent was Superman? Come on. You have to willfully deny that, to not see it. And Spirit showing me that this is much about you could say, oh yeah, it's about this person, that person, your personal life with other people, but it's also about your spiritual life, about recognizing what's right there in front of you and knowing your true power. Melissa Ann. Okay, this is an interesting perspective because I'm walking behind you as you're walking into this dark. Well, I'm just gonna tell you how. I'm not inside this. So you're looking. You go down these steps into this place. It's feels and appears to be ancient. It's the walls are stone, kind of damp and dark. And you're like, well, why am I in this dungeon, this nasty old place? And Spirit says, well, this is a temple. And you're like, how can this be a temple? There's no sunlight or anything. Ew. Well, hang on a second. Don't be so quick to judge, okay? One person's dungeon is another person's temple. It's not your temple, but it's a temple. So remember that everybody has their own, comfort level or comfortable spot they like, and some people want to be in the dark. It doesn't mean that they're not authentic or stupid or anything. It just means that's what they require for stillness and openness to spirit. Okay, I think I got them all. Lois. A caterpillar, it doesn't matter what kind, they eat a lot. Proportionately, I can't remember, I'm sure it's different for different species, but they eat many, many times their own weight in, a few months? So to the gardener, it's terrible. They decimated my tomato plants, let's say, or whatever it is. Just ate them all up. Well, you'll be thankful when you have butterflies and moths to pollinate your plants. So something you've been trying to grow looks like it's being taken away or being eaten away at, but be patient for a season. See what happens. Thank you for allowing me to stand between the two worlds. That brings us to the meditation. Yeah. So here's the description that I put in the event. All sacred texts and all sources of wisdom repeat the importance of stillness and conscious cultivation of peace from the ancient past to the present. What is so difficult about this? It is a challenge as ancient as humanity itself. In today's presentation, we will explore ways to create peace and stillness no matter the circumstances. Now that sentence, it is a challenge as ancient as humanity itself. Because when you challenge yourself to be still, like a person might say, well, that's my natural state. I am a spiritual person. That's my natural state, is to be still and receptive to spirit and blah, blah, blah. Well, yes, of course. Unless you're talking about your physiology. Your physiology is wired for readiness. And when you start on a path of mindfulness, stillness, meditation, etc., maybe not right away, but eventually you'll come to challenge your own brain. When you first begin to still your mind, you'll have that chatter, and you'll become aware of wow, my brain is more active than I even realized. I thought I chattered a lot before, but now that I'm sitting here still for 10 minutes, I realize she's going a mile a minute. Okay, so you work through that, you release that chatter, and almost always what comes up is that caveman brain that's afraid of being attacked. I'm not trying to go down a rabbit hole of psychology or anything like that. I'm just talking about the very fundamentals of how the brain works. If you persist, you can literally rewire your brain. Neurons that fire together, wire together. I first came across this information in a movie called What the Bleep Do We Know? I recommend it to everyone. And they said neurons that fire together wire together. And they gave the scientific reasoning for this. And I thought, I'm screwed. If, by today's standards, my childhood was just horribly violent. When I was a kid, I thought it was just like, I have strict parents or whatever. But anyway, point being that getting this information, I was like, well, if my neurons are permanently wired this way, then what am I going to do? I'm going to be this way the rest of my life. I'm not sure I want to live. But then they go on to say, you can change that. You change the wiring of your brain by changing your thoughts and directing your own attention. So we are going to just do a very simple, basic practice. You can call it mindfulness, call it whatever you want. Here we go. So, we invite you to be comfortable, but not too comfortable. If you have experience meditating, you know what that is for you. If not, you'll find out pretty quickly. If you fall asleep, that's okay. It won't hurt anything. But the more you practice, the more you'll be able to hold your attention in the moment and not be unconscious. Give your body permission to relax. As your body relaxes, turn your attention to the center of your being. This is in the area of your heart. See here your light, your individual flame that is part of the big light. Cause this light to expand, filling your entire body. All the way down to the soles of your feet, out to your fingertips, and up to the top of your head. Cause this light to expand just beyond your physical body, filling that field of energy called the aura. As your mind stills and your body relaxes, you might feel your guides and teachers close around you. And with your aura full of divine light and your spirit guides around you, you know you are safe. This feeling of safety and security allows you to Turn your attention further and further inward. Achieving deeper and deeper relaxation. Give your attention to your breath. Observe your breathing. When an intrusive or unwanted thought occurs, simply dismiss it with love. And return your attention to your breathing. Remember to release with love and without judgment, and return your attention to your breathing. As you reach deeper and deeper stillness and relaxation, you may notice that instead of distracting thoughts or intrusive thoughts or feelings, you are feeling peace, and you are receiving insights from your inner mind or higher self or spirit guides. And if you aren't already, you can follow these insights to wherever they lead. Allow yourself to be guided. Or not. Perhaps you just want to stay in this space where we are and say, I'll be happy to work with you later. Thank you. And if at any time you get kind of lost out there, just return your attention to your breath. As you continue this practice, you will notice your perspective changes. You see people, places, and things, and yourself not necessarily as you thought they were. You hear a call or feel an urge. to be back in the present moment. And you find yourself desiring to be in the here and now, to inhabit your body, the vehicle you've chosen for this journey. And yes, there's a part of you that wants to stay in this meditation. But you know you can come back anytime you like. So choose to be fully and completely in and with and of your physical body for this moment, for this time. Feel your lungs fill. Feel the air around you. Express your gratitude. Thank you, spirit guides. Thank you, my higher self, for leading me out and bringing me back in. Choose to be totally and completely here, all the way down to the soles of your feet. Feel that ground beneath your feet, all the way out to your fingertips, up to the top of your head. When you are ready, please open your eyes. Closing prayer. Divine oneness of being, ascended masters and teachers, our own personal guides and overriding angels, thank you once again for working with us and through us to raise our vibration, to raise our consciousness, to raise our hearts, to meld with yours, to be one. So more to be. Thank you for being in our circle of light. Please stand with us in unity as we sing together, let there be peace on earth. Sometimes you just got to do this. You got to, what I intended to be a pretty simple, very basic experience took off. Okay. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Well, I messed up, didn't I? What? What did I do wrong? Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry, man. I'm really... Right. Woof. Just give me a second. Okay. Take two. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Hugs.